Okay, guys. Y'all asked for a granny square. So this is a traditional granny square. I'm using a Super Saver yarn, and I'm using a 6mm hook for this tutorial. And so this is a granny square. I've already put my yarn on my hook. So I don't do a magic ring. I'm not a fan of magic ring. So what I do is I chain 4 or say 5. I'm gonna go 5. I take and do it the old-fashioned way, but you'll see it is still somewhat of a magic ring that can be cinched up as well. And then I just yarn over after I put my hook through that first chain created. I yarn over and I slip through both of those. Okay. And I'm going to chain 2. And with the granny square, we're making a square, okay? So let me show y'all. Sometimes drawing this, I find that people understand more about what is going on. So let me try and draw this, and maybe it might make some sense. Okay, so here's a square and a granny, a granny square where our intention is to make it, of course, square. But here we are starting out with a circle right in the middle. But what we're going to do is I chained 3. So that's 1. And then we're going to double crochet, double crochet. Then we're going to chain 2. And then we're going to put 3 more double crochet in this circle. Then we're going to chain 2. And we're going to put 3 more double crochet in the circle. We're going to chain 2 and put 3 more double crochet in the circle. Chain 2. And then we're going to slip stitch into this chain right here. Okay. So sometimes when I draw this, people tend to get the picture easier. So there's that. Okay, I'm just going to put that forward. Now, I'm going to pick this back up. Now, here's our chain 5 that and I chain 2 or chain 3, depending on your gauge. It really doesn't matter. I chain 2 for me. Chain 3 is the norm. Okay, yarn over, and I'm going to go into the circle, and I'm going to double crochet. See, that's the same size for me. So that works better for me to chain 2 here. So 3 double crochet here. That chain 2 counts as my first double crochet. So there's that. Then we chain 2, as I said in the diagram up here. Okay. And we're going to go back in here, working around our tail. I'm going to make those 3 double crochets, the granny cluster, if you will, and 3. Okay, and then chain 2 again, chain 2, and go back in with 3 more double crochet. 1, making sure I'm working around my tail and I'm not getting tangled in my tail. 2 and 3. And I'm going to, sometimes you can move them over, kind of bunch them in there on that circle. Chain 2. Sometimes you don't have to. If you're doing that magic circle, it's much bigger, so you won't have to do that. 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to chain 2. And here we are with the slip stitch to the top of the chain 2. Okay, I'm going to go in and I want to make sure I'm grabbing at least 2 of the loops, and I'm going to slip stitch into there. Now, let's look at what we have here. So we have our chain 2 and 2 double crochets into our circle that we made. Then we chain 2 and we put 3 double crochets. We chain 2, 3 double crochets, and chain 2. So I call it, these are all corners. See, these are all corners. So when we get to a corner, we will always 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet in a corner. Always, always in a corner. But with this size right here, all 4 corners are a corner. So that's the construction of the beginning of the granny square. Now, I said this would be like a magic circle, and it is. If you pull on this tail, it cinches up just like a magic circle. So if you want your tail, your center shut tight, you can still do it with this method. And this method is stronger in there. And we'll use a, to work in our tails. And we'll go back one more and then come back again and then chop it off. And that'll be finished. Okay, now when I do a granny square, and not everybody does, and you don't have to, I turn my work. So I slip stitched into here. I am going to chain my 2, and then I'm going to turn my work. Now we're on this side of the hole, and this is a corner. And in our corner, corners get 3 double crochet, a chain 2, and 3 double crochet. So in this corner, I've already double crocheted once with the chain 2. It is considered the first double crochet, so I'm going to go in and do 2 more double crochets. And I'm going to chain 2, okay? And I'm going to go back in with, so that's the 3, 2, 3. 3 double crochet, 2 chains, and 3 double crochets. 3, 2, 3 in the corner. Okay. And you'll see as the granny square, see, it's making that corner. That's what makes your corner. This is what increases. This is the increase to continue to grow bigger. Okay. And we will go to our next space and work either the granny cluster, or we'll work the 3, 2, 3 corner. And this one, this next open space happens to be, yes, a corner. So it's the 3, 2, 3 corner. And that is 3 double crochets. Now I'm not teaching double crochet here. I have that's a separate video. Chain 2, our 2 chains, 3, 2, and 3 more double crochets. And one more. Okay, and that makes our corner. Now we're going to go to the next open space, and the next open space happens to be a corner. So we go in and work our 3, 2, 3, which is double crochet, and one more. That's the 3. The 2 is the 2 chains. There's the 2 chains. And the next 3 is 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to go to the next open space, which is again a corner. So it calls for the 3, 2, 3. 3 of the double crochets. So this is the third one. 2 chains and 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Now, there's no more open spaces to work. We've worked our last one. We're not putting spaces in between. So what we're doing is we're going to go into the top of this chain 2 space. I'm going to make sure I'm behind both of those loops, at least 2 of them. It doesn't matter which one's in the chain, just as long as you're behind 2. And we're slip stitching. Now we're to the left side of this, and I'm going to chain up 2. You chain up 2 or 3, it does not matter. I'm going to turn my my work. And here we are again. Now we're creating this space needs our granny cluster. So the chain 2 counts as 1. So we go in for number 2 and number 3. That's our granny cluster. This is not a corner, so that's all it gets is a granny cluster. Now our next open space happens to be a corner. So we're going to go into that open space and work our 3, 2, 3. 3 double crochets. Look at my yarn changing. My 2 chains and my second 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So, and you see there's the corner. Now we go to our next open space, which is here. So we go in and we work our granny cluster, which is 3 double crochets. 2 and 3. Okay, so now that's it. Because that's not a corner, it just gets the 3 double crochets. Now we're going into our next open space, and yes, this is a corner, so it gets the 3, 2, 3. 3 double crochets. Chain 2 and 3 more double crochet. Okay, and you can just keep going. Our next open space, not a corner, so it just gets 3 double crochets or the granny cluster. Okay, you see it? And I turn my work because they tend to lean, and when you turn and keep turning, it's beautiful on both sides. So you don't have a back and a front. They're either side as the front or back. And it counters that twist. So this one's wanting a twist. You can kind of see it this way. And then this one's wanting a twist a little bit this way, as you can see it. But that's the opposite of the way this one's wanting a twist. So they kind of counter each other. And it makes for a more square, less twisted granny square. So I'm going into this corner with the 3, 2, 3, which is 3 double crochet, 2 chains, and 3 more double crochet, all in this corner. This is the increase. This is where you add enough so that your square isn't buckling. It's going to lay flat, and you just keep going. Now, if you wanted to change color, because you can always change color whenever you're ready, you would just fasten off and start in any space, side space preferably, that you would want to. Now, that was a side. And next time you're going to have 2 sides. See, you're going to have this one and this one. So it'll just keep growing. You'll do 3 here, 3 here, then you'll do 3, 2, 3. You'll do 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 3, and you'll just keep going. So this is my 3, 2, 3 because it's a corner. So there's 3 double crochet. I'm going to just kind of work it kind of quickly. If 2 chains and 3 more double crochets. Okay, so there we are, and we're just gonna slip stitch. Now, if you wanted to fasten off here and say change color, I would fasten off here, cut your yarn. Now, I don't want to cut my yarn as I'm using this yarn for a different project. But then just start a new slip knot on your hook, go in and pull through and chain up and start working. That would be a standing single crochet, and that's how you would begin. No big deal. You fasten off, work in your tail, and then start your new color. And again, you would chain up with your new color, turn your work. You're on this side, so it makes room for your other 2 double crochets. Yarn over and go in with your next 2. That makes the 3 double crochets. You could start here, or you can start over here or over here. It doesn't matter which one you start in. Just remember to turn your work as you go. 3 double crochet. I'll finish this corner, and then I'm going to quit because I think y'all have it. Just keep going. And if you're not sure about how to start the next level, just rewind the tape, because how I started from here to here or from here to here is the same way. Just make sure you turn your work and move on. And here, that's how we make the granny square, y'all. So good luck, and if you have any questions, come see me in my live. Thank you.